Hey everybody, how you doing? I hope you're well. Well, you've heard it by now. The complaint by the media, well, let's be honest, mostly the white-owned media, less so black, except those people who are black who happen to work for white-owned media. If you start breaking it down, unfortunately, that's the way it looks. Okay, just got to call it like I see it. Now, what we have here is we have, among other people, Shannon Sharpe going on ESPN First Take with Stephen A. Smith and going off about Jameis Winston. Now, if you don't know this story, let me explain to you what happened. At the Saints game where the Saints were hosting the Atlanta Falcons, the Falcons quarterback had just thrown an interception. It was a backup. He had just thrown an interception. And that interception was all but returned for a touchdown. It was just 1 yard short. It was just 1 yard short. So here you got 1 yard short, a few seconds left in the game, and the Saints, Dennis Allen calls for a victory formation. But the players realized that Jameis Williams, one of their players, the running back, who had not had a end zone touchdown, had the opportunity to get an end zone touchdown that, well, they believed he would have gotten anyway. They might as well take advantage of it. It makes a lot of sense. You know what? 1 yard away, a few seconds left. They've already established the fact that they are the superior team to the Atlanta Falcons. And yeah, eventually neither organization won the NFC South. The Buccaneers did, but still, it's the Saints and the Falcons, all right? You don't play nice there. So the teammates got together, according to Jameis Winston and other teammates, and said, hey, look, we're going to get a touchdown. We're going to get this out of this fake victory formation so that the Falcons wouldn't stop it. They wanted this to happen for this man, okay? They do it. Arthur Blank goes off, approaches Dennis Allen. You've seen it. You've seen the video. If you haven't seen the video, I have the video. And I'll play the video right now to show you what I said at the time, because it has to be explained in the context of what happened. Because I think Bill Carroll, our NFL draft expert, called me. Well, he didn't call me out on it. I wouldn't have minded if he did. But he did ask me what I thought about the Winston issue. And at any rate, this is what I initially said regarding what Jameis Winston did. And I'm going to the channel right now to get that very video. Right? And I'll have it for you in one moment. So pull it up. What I said, though, just to complete this is, I said that the title of the video is Falcons Arthur Smith fired, but Atlanta has no head coaching candidates listed at the ready. Well, that was true. That wasn't the one that I said. What I said was Falcons coach Arthur Smith goes off on Saints head coach Dennis Allen for running up score in 48-17 win. That's the title. And now let me play for you what I said at the time for, as I say, context, all right? Or as John Gruden might put it, context. Here's the stop screen, and then go to, this is a different, StreamYard's changed their format to where I can't easily, share screen. There we go. Now it came up. Artificial intelligence has a way of moving things around, even with StreamYard, right? At any rate, here is, you've seen it, this one. Now, this is what I said the minute I saw this happen. I made this video almost just on the spot, froze the camera, rolled it back, and then I talked. but this is what I said. It's short, a minute and 12 seconds.
Everybody, this is a very, 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 very angry and soon to be fired on top of that, Arthur Smith, whose team was blown out by the New Orleans Saints 48-17. Coach Smith is angry that Dennis Allen ordered the score of the final touchdown rather than sitting on the ball. So he's going right in on Dennis Allen right here saying, and you can read his lip, what kind of, right here he says, effing bullshit, okay? He's cursing at Dennis, and Dennis is like, calm down, calm down. That's bullshit, that's bullshit, that's bullshit, okay? And he's like, bullshit, he's completely pissed about it. And really he is right because, yeah, clearly his team collapsed. Clearly that's on him. But Dennis did add insult to injury by that final touchdown and leaving his starters in. So anyway, there it is. And what do you think about it, folks? Let us know at Zenny62 on YouTube. And we'll see you tonight for Sunday Night Football at halftime, folks. Remember, subscribe to Zenny62 on YouTube.
No, I should have asked my mom what she thought. That was my mom, chiming in. But I wanted to sort of make this point. My mom actually didn't see that there was a problem. Now, I also had not seen much of the fourth quarter after about 7 minutes remaining because I was actually taking care of something for her. So I made an assumption that the Saints had driven downfield on this long drive, didn't stop the clock, didn't stop play or anything like that. But what happened was what I didn't see. I didn't see the interception. I didn't realize that the ball was brought down to the 1. And the Saints then set up the scenario that's left us talking about Jameis Winston and the teammates for the rest of the week, at least when we weren't paying attention to CES Las Vegas. But I digress. And what happened was that there were people who were calling for his head. And I listened to this and I thought, wait a minute, let me find out what's happening. So I finally saw the actual victory formation, the interception, how close it came to scoring. And thus the raison d'etre for just go ahead and finishing the deal. Now, if they had said to the Falcons, hey, would you let us score this touchdown because we want to get, just some credit for our teammate for his contract, something like that. Do you think the Falcons players would have done that? No, they would not have. They would have laughed. So why not fool them? Why not use the victory formation? I get it. Okay, I get it. Context is important, as a number of people have reminded me about a number of things. Context, as John Green might say, context is important. So in this context, I believe that what Jameis Winston did was absolutely correct. But here comes a number of people in media who took issue with it, including a reporter that really got after Jameis in a way that I believe was racist. In other words, hey, boy, what's wrong with, you shouldn't be doing that, overruling the coach, boy. Now I'm telling you my opinion, honestly, since you asked me, boy. That's how he talked with him. That's how he talked to him. It was really insulting. But what, it was really just one of these, are you kidding me, dude? You would actually address somebody that way? But Jameis did ask for his opinion, and he gave it, all right? But that paled to me in comparison to this man right here, Shannon Sharpe. Yes, Shannon Sharpe, met the man at the Detroit Super Bowl thanks to Mike Silver, who introduced us. I like Shannon Sharpe, nothing personal. But I really, what he said here, it bothered me, all right? I just have to say it bothered me in the context of everything. For example, here.
They were not in victory formation. If you get down, the defense is conceding. If you want to run the ball, let the defense line up. Don't you fool them. Think there's a victory formation and then drive off the ball.
Okay. All right. And then he started off by saying this.
But I'll say this. I would cut Jameis Winston today.
Seriously? Seriously? Okay. I mean, think about what you're hearing from him. All right. And then he goes on and says, all right, he says that
I have no respect for him. Right? He said they sent victory formation in, but that's right, we made a decision. I'm sorry, Molly. I would cut Jameis Winston today.
Yeah, we, the players, made the decision. All right. The players made the decision. The players made the decision. All right. The players made the decision. Okay. The players made the decision. We. And Shannon had a hard time with that, okay? So I thought about this. I thought, you know what? There's something that really just makes me uncomfortable about this whole thing. And then I just had this flash of insight and thought, you know, I'll bet you somewhere in this big, wide internet world, there is a quote of Shannon Sharpe backing his quarterback in making the quarterback making his own decision and not what the coach told him to do. And guess what, folks? I found it. I freaking found it. Okay. I found it. Yeah. I found it. 1988 AFC Championship Game. All right. And the situation was that they held a 3-point lead, they being the Broncos, against the Pittsburgh Steelers in the game's final 100 seconds. They needed 6 yards on third down to retain possession and all but assure victory. Okay. That's the story. All right. Quarterback John Elway needed someone to make a play. Okay. So what happened was that Mike Shanahan sent in a play. But Shannon Sharpe reminded Elway, hey, we haven't ran this play in practice. And John just said, hey, you know what? All right, don't worry about it. And so, according to Shannon Sharpe, these are Shannon Sharpe's own words, according to coloradosports.org, Denver Post, the Denver Post, and other publications. All right. John told us in the huddle to just think about this. John told us, the quarterback in the huddle, to just run straight down the middle of the field and get open, Sharpe said. He said this to reporters afterward. That's all he said. We broke huddle, and I said, John, we don't have a play. He said, we do now. It was totally improvised. All right? Totally improvised. The improvised pass to Sharpe was good for 18 yards and a first down, and it helped the Broncos run out the clock in a 24-21 victory again over the Steelers en route to their Super Bowl 32 win. Okay? The play, according to reporters and Denver media, symbolized what Sharpe always had been to Denver's offense throughout his career. Clutch. All right? So you mean to tell me it's okay? Think about that. Ask Shannon about this situation. How is John Elway different from Jameis Winston? Well, Shannon said, well, Elway didn't try to fool the defense. Look, fooling the defense happens all the time. You run an end around because you're trying to fool the defense into thinking that a running back will get it, and all of a sudden it's a tight end or a split end, right? And what is more about fooling a defense than running a flea flicker? Where is a law, a congressional law, that you cannot fool an NFL defense? Where is that written? I haven't seen it. And look, I know the laws. I wear my seatbelts every time I drive. How about you, Shannon? Okay? I know what's going on. So you're going to tell me that there's something wrong with, Jameis Winston improvised because the teammates wanted to get a touchdown for Mr. Williams, the running back. And, oh, by the way, the game was already in the 40-point range. Okay? It wasn't like, well, gee, this is going to give them a 40 burger and make them look worse. Well, they're kind of already are there. You know? All right? All right? And then for Stephen A. Smith to jump on it, excuse me. I am sick and tired of this trend of black media personalities saving their worst commentary and vitriol for black athletes. Kimberly Martin, also of ESPN, did it on Get Up to Cam Newton. Cam said, "Why are you picking on me?" She made terrible points. Stephen A. Smith has done it any number of times. What is it where ESPN feels like they have to basically pay black media personalities to attack black athletes? And it's a white organization that owns it. If you don't like the comparison, you know what? Hey, fund black media organizations like Zenny 62 Media. Thank you very much. All right. Change the picture. Make it look different. But right now, it looks like they're using people who are black in a way that's not unlike the master telling the black slave to go and capture somebody else black to be a slave. All right? In other words, using that person to come into the fold to continue to make value for the white slave master. Does that sound cold? Yes, it does, because it is. Does that sound harsh? Yeah, it's harsh. But it's what it looks like. And it underscores the fact that we don't have an active black media, and we should have an active black media. There's no excuse for this. None. And you all let it happen. Okay? Stephen A. Smith brags about how much money he makes, the roles he has, and everything. Right on, brother. But you know what? Why not invest in black media on top of all that? Okay? Kimberly Martin, I met Kimberly Martin. Wasn't the nicest person to me. I had no idea Kimberly Martin was Kimberly Martin when I met her. Where was that? The NFL meeting in 2017, the one where the Raiders wound up leaving the Las Vegas. All right? And I don't want to go into long details about that. I'll just say that for reasons best known to her, because I didn't know who she was at the time, she was like criticizing something I was saying, and I was not even listening because what she was saying didn't make any sense at all. All right? All right? At all. It didn't make any sense. So I thought, So then she attacks Cam, and then there's this trend that you see again of black media personalities attacking black athletes. And, interestingly, the people who actually look better in all this are young white media personalities who don't do that. Who, think about Pat McAfee, brought over from YouTube to ESPN. Great guy. Pat takes a modern view, if you want to put it that way, a fair view, a view sensitive to the plight of us as a people in America. And why not? Okay? Why not? He is truly the new media. I understand he even has a hard time with ESPN. Okay? So here we have this situation where the Kimberly Martins and the Stephen A. Smiths, but Shannon Sharpe should know better. Kimberly Martin and Stephen A. Smith did not play NFL football. But Shannon Sharpe, not only did he play NFL football, Gold Star, NFL Hall of Fame tight end, who combined with John Elway is one of the top 10 receiving quarterback duos in NFL history. Something like 4,971 yards of passes caught from Elway to Sharpe. I salute them, all right? But you should also salute Jameis Winston for being the consummate team player, for being a Heisman Trophy winning quarterback whose very character has been dragged through the mud based on lies. He didn't do anything to Erica Kinsman. I had Erica Kinsman's boyfriend, now husband, specifically ask me to take down evidence that they got married, because the whole backstory was that Miss Kinsman didn't have a boyfriend, but she had two black guys that she had went to bed with within 8 hours. One of them being Jameis Winston, and before that, Jamal Roberts. So what did Ms. Kinsman and Mr. Roberts do? They managed to finagle a $975,000 payday from Florida State University. Yeah, you betcha they did, okay? But all of you went along, or some of you went along, and continued to tar and feather Jameis with all this stuff, as opposed to the facts, okay? As opposed to saying, hey, you know what? She changed her story 8 times. Alcohol was involved at Potbellies. She texted her friend Monica saying, should she go with Jameis and Ron Darby and their other friend? Monica said yes. The fact of the matter is that Erica forgot what happened, and her sorority friends poured the idea into her head that she had been violated. And then her auntie, Patricia Cornwell, said that her niece would not date a black boy, as she called Jameis Winston. This is documented fact. Okay, folks? It is documented fact. You cannot escape it. You can't hide from it. You can't pretend like it doesn't exist. Okay, it is true. And as RPF lives says, and they never forgave Winston and never let him live that down after that, and has been running that poor man down ever since. That's right. All right. But hey, Florida State retired his number after I put out the information I'm telling you about. I got text message proof. You hear me? Jamal Roberts had to try to take my YouTube video down showing their website of their marriage, including the black and white photo that they took was really cool. Her having her usual cocktail, him looking at her. All right. I mean, you actually think, you think I'm kidding about this? All right. You actually think, okay, that there are people out there who make this stuff up? Give me a break. All right. No way. All right. At all. No reason to. You want to know what's the most tragic thing about this? Is that other than me, nobody else in the media bothered to take a look at what was happening with Erica Kinsman and Jamal Roberts. But you can see right here. All right. These are the photographs I uncovered. Okay. There's more too. All right. And they had the website taken down. They got married in New York. All right. And he says, I still have connections in Tallahassee to confirm what you just said. Yeah. Jamal texted me. You want to hear me? You hear me? All right. All right. Texted me saying he didn't want the publicity anymore. Okay. Well, you know what? Come to Jameis' defense. Jamal, Shannon, Stephen A. Smith, where are you guys? Why are you as black men afraid to stand up for Jameis Winston? And why do you have to tear him down or try to first chance you get? Fortunately, and thank God for the Jimmy Grahams of the world and the other Saints teammates that stood up to the world and said, blank you, we back Jameis, and blank the Falcons. Okay. That's clear as a bell. Okay. Clear as a bell. And they do all this for clicks, for money. Hey, do black folks see any of that who are working for them? Maybe there's a producer that does, because in fairness to ESPN, they are good about hiring people who look like me for producer jobs and media jobs. I'll give ESPN that. But ultimately, where does the money go? You know the answer to that. They're not financing African-American scholarships to attend schools or helping out historically black colleges. I went to Cal. Is there an assistance program by ESPN to help people who look like me get into Cal, as expensive as it is today? No. There should be. All right? But we need a healthy black media. Well-financed, well-distributed, giving opportunities to people who currently are denied them. They get maybe a job here and there. Or they come with my company. I can give them some things, but I can't give them all that I want to because I'm not well-financed. Was at one point. Then the pandemic came along. Okay? But I digress. Shannon Sharpe ought to be ashamed of himself. Shannon Sharpe owes Jameis Winston a big, fat apology right now. If Shannon Sharpe is any kind of man that I know that he can be, I don't know the man. I only met him once. That doesn't mean I know his DNA and everything, but I know doggone well that he could, all right? He could decide, all right? He could decide to do that. All right, that's my thing. Subscribe to Zenny62, bookmark oaklandnewsnowblog.com. I'll see you all. Thanks a lot.